Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's the last weekend of the Premier League. Forget the top, let's go straight down to the bottom, and we've got Watford, Villa and Bournemouth all needing to win. But if Villa win, they're going to be okay. There's no guarantees about the other team, so it's going to be a great Sunday afternoon. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you from any of our content. And also, if you press a link in the description, that'll take you over to our football pages where there's articles been wrote by Martin, by Alex, by Dave, and there's loads of other sporting articles there by some of our other writers. Now, I'm joined by Matt and Martin. Martin, I'm going to come to you first. Massive weekend at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, I think if you're a Watford fan, you must have been absolutely sick watching that Arsenal versus Aston Villa game. Arsenal were in reasonably good form before that and just threw in the towel. Didn't even have a shot on target in the game. And suddenly, what a turnaround! Now Aston Villa's destiny is in their own hands. And Watford are the ones that have to play Arsenal. They'll be hoping that Arsenal roll over again. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how Aston Villa get on. Now they know that a result would do them well. Bournemouth are still in with a vague chance as well, so I think it's going to be a thrilling finale to a very strange season.
Yeah, Matt, how much of that Arsenal performance away at Villa do you attribute to them beating Man City in the semi-final of the FA Cup?
I think it definitely played a factor. Just 2 days of rest, and Villa were up and ready to go like it was a Super Bowl type of match for them, and they did their job. You know, they got that goal on the corner, and Arsenal really just didn't have anything up top that day. Villa did a great job, and they're going to be rewarded for it, it looks like.
Yeah, just remember, you're our third guest. We are live. I want to be getting plenty chat be going on, and also press your thumbs up. The big thing I look at this weekend is goals, but I also look at goals in the second half where teams just jack it in. I think there's going to be a lot of cagey, maybe draw half times are going to be in abundance, Martin.
Yeah, maybe. It's a bit difficult, isn't it, with some of the games because there's teams that have got absolutely nothing left to play for. But yeah, the teams that are fighting for their lives, you would have to expect some effort from them at least. Draw half-time. Yeah, I don't think I'm going for any draws. I've got a couple of passes. I've got a couple of draw no bets. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few players taking it easy. But I think we'll still have a few more twists and turns before the final whistle.
Yeah, it'll be a great last 20 minutes. Right, well, let's just crack straight on, shall we? Talking of Arsenal, where they're going to lead us away, and they're plus 100. The draw at plus 300 and Watford at plus 285. Martin?
Yes, this is a really difficult one, isn't it? Arsenal obviously beat Liverpool and Man City in the space of 4 days, and all the fans got excited, and suddenly they're going to be a great team once again, and then lost to 19th placed Aston Villa and didn't even have a shot on target. So difficult to know which Arsenal are going to turn up. Obviously, they were tired from their exertions against Man City in that game. Now they would have had a bit of time to regroup, but there's no chance of them finishing in the Europa League places in the table. They're guaranteed to finish mid-table now. Their worst actual finish since the mid-90s when George Graham was sacked for taking a bung. They're not going to want to risk a few players because they're going to want to keep them fit for the FA Cup final. So very, very difficult. You might be tempted to go with Watford or Watford draw no bet. I think at those odds, it's difficult to go against Arsenal when you consider that Watford have conceded 7 goals in their last 2 games. Been defending abysmally, haven't got a manager. I'm inclined just to go for Arsenal at plus 100, double your money. Even if they've got a reserve team out, they should still have some good players, and they should have recovered, rested their legs a little bit now. And I think it's probably worth a punt, but more of a lean, I think, for me.
Yeah, I think that Watford are going to play into Arsenal's hands. Arsenal will be able to hit them on the break. There'll be plenty of pace. You know, Watford don't keep the back door closed. It's all or nothing for Watford. So, listen, I fancy goals. There's got to be goals in this game. Watford have got to score. I think the Alex Classic is definitely in play. What do you think, Matt?
I think that Arsenal are going to be right up for this one. Just coming back, just when you look back at some of the comments from a couple of years ago from Troy Deeney on Arsenal and Arsenal not having any cojones and whatnot, I think that it's going to play right into Arsenal here. I think that it's going to motivate this side. I think they want to watch Watford go down here and knock them out themselves. I think Martin's right. I think it's somewhat of a lineup call here. But if I get a decent lineup, I think that Arsenal at plus 100 are a really nice bet. I mean, just fading Watford has been really profitable over the last few weeks and really ever since the restart. Shame on Watford, really, for getting rid of Nigel Pearson. And I think that they're going down here, and I think that Arsenal grab 3.
I'd like to see that. I mean, I think the Alex Classic's definitely in play. I can see maybe a 3-1, 3-2. Listen, these teams have been known to be involved in plenty goals. Let's move on to this game where might not see so many goals, but I still think there might be value with a home side. Burnley plus 240, draw plus 250, and Brighton at plus 215. Matt, Burnley at plus 240 on the last game of the season. Everyone will be looking at the draw and the unders, but I think the home win has got plenty value.
Yes. Yeah, I think that price has come down pretty significantly. I'm seeing at Burnley are at plus 130 now on the markets. And how can you go against them? I mean, they haven't lost. They've lost, one of the last 15 matches right now. And I just think that it looks like Sean Dyche and some of his comments and stuff, he might be on his way out. It's really, there's some uncertainty, but you know that he gets these guys ready and ready to go here. I think that Burnley still at plus 130 is worth a good bet here. I'm playing it Burnley 2.30 for me.
Martin, Burnley for you?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Burnley, definitely. I mean, if he is going, that would be a great way to sign off, potentially securing an 8th place finish, finishing above Arsenal, Everton, teams with massive budgets that have vastly outspent Burnley. Hats off to them. They've been brilliant since the restart. Only slight concern is that Brighton do have a tendency to nick a draw here and there. We've seen them draw their last 2 games against decent opposition. I don't think Brighton are going to win it, so I'm inclined to play a bit more cautiously and go for Burnley draw no bet, which is only about 1.67, but I think that looks fine to me.
Joseph reckons Burnley 1-0, Burnley double chance and the under 2.5 goals. Now, Chelsea minus 105, draw plus 300 and Wolves at plus 310, Martin. Wolves are a massive price, or did Chelsea take their foot off the gas last week knowing that this was such a massive game?
I do think this is a really difficult one for both teams to call because while Wolves can't finish in the Champions League places anymore, they'll want to get as high up the table as possible. There's a chance that they could get overtaken by Tottenham. They still want to secure that Europa League spot. So I think this is going to be a really difficult game. Obviously, Chelsea have just played. Looking weak at the back. They've got a cup final to look forward to, but this is massive for them. I think we could see another really open-ended game. I'm just looking at both teams to score in this one at 1.8 because I can't really call it on the outrights.
You like your Wolves. Draw half-time. Are you still going to go with it, Matt? Or do you think Wolves are great value at like plus 310?
I think that there is good value on Wolves here, but I've actually gone for the same thing that Martin has. I think that both teams score here. Chelsea's attack looks like it's on fire, and then their back line is still shaky, and Wolves are going to give them everything here. We touched on the storylines at the bottom of the table, but there are some really nice matches here on the final day for top 4 implications, and this one is right up there with them. I think that if Chelsea drop the ball here, we could see them drop out of the top 4 entirely. So this is a tough one for Chelsea. They're starting to take some money here. I don't really understand it. I don't think I would be betting Chelsea at anything in the minus range here. I think that Wolves have enough to score, and I think that Chelsea will score as well at minus 120, both teams to score.
Okay then, both teams to score it is now. It's a funny old game at Selhurst Park. Palace plus 510, draw plus 325, Spurs minus 175. I could not have Spurs with your money away from home at minus 175, Matt.
Yes, I don't like it at minus 175, but I banked Spurs last week against Leicester. That one came in pretty nicely. And Palace, what have they done really recently? I mean, they just can't score goals whatsoever. I like what Spurs have been doing actually with Jose Mourinho under the helm here, and I think that Spurs and under 4.5 goals is the look here at minus 120. I don't see a thriller here, and I think that Spurs do get the job done.
Wow, I was looking at Palace double chance, Martin, but I've got Tottenham wrong quite a lot in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think it's because they haven't been playing well. They've looked out of sorts, but actually the results have been coming in. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They just beat Leicester, who are above them in the table, 3-0. They put 3 past Newcastle at St James's Park. Despite the performance levels not being great, they've been efficient in front of goal. They're getting the job done. You can't really fault the points tally that Mourinho's picked up since he's been there. Crystal Palace are on a 7-game losing streak. The season's just over for them. They've drawn a blank in 4 of their last 5 games. That's pretty abysmal form. I've got to go for Tottenham as well. I copy and paste everything that Matt said. Tottenham and under 4.5 goals for me. I got 1.91 on that earlier.
Wow. Yeah, it's a crazy old game. I think there's lower hanging fruit, let's just say it that. Now, Everton at plus 130, draw plus 280, and Bournemouth at plus 205. Before I come to you, Martin, Freddie, can you stick up the full screen for me, please? Okay, here we go. This is what it looks like at the bottom of the table. And this is our first game we're going to look at. Bournemouth, forget about the points. It's all about the goal difference. Minus 27. They've got to win, and Villa and Watford have basically got to lose. So do we fancy that Bournemouth, Martin, can go to Everton and win? That's the first job, and that's the only job that they can do.
I don't really see how we can trust them, to be honest. They needed to get something from that Southampton game, massive South Coast derby, couldn't even get on the score sheet. I think they're going down, and deservedly so. There was that glimmer of hope when they beat Leicester. That was one good performance, but otherwise, I can't really trust them. I can't trust Everton either. They're in horrible form, losing games that you'd think they would win based on paper. But then they've gone and beaten Sheffield United. I can't work them out. I'm just going to wait and see what they do next season. This one definitely has to be a pass for me.
Yeah, they're horrible, Martin. Honestly, I went with Sheffield United the other day, and even though Everton won, listen, both teams on the day were absolutely disgusting. Matt, is there any value? And listen, I think goals. I think that Bournemouth will go there, and they've got goals in them on their day, and this has to be their day, Matt.
It has to be their day, and I do like goals here. I think that there should be some here. As we know, on the final day, there's generally a lot more goals, just like in the championship. That was a crazy last day there. But for me here, I am concerned with Bournemouth. They've been beat in 9 consecutive road matches, and here I think that they could play into the hands of Everton. I'm with you guys. I mean, I think that Everton are just so up and down. I can't believe it, but I'm going to back them here. I think that Bournemouth are going to play right into their hands. I think Everton are going to catch them out on the break. And at plus 130 here, I think it's bye, cherries.
Wow, yeah, they've definitely got enough pace on the break, Everton. If they suck you in with Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, they've got plenty that can come off the bench as well. I mean, listen, I just think there's going to be goals. I think there's probably an Alex Classic. I think that's probably the safest way to go. Now, this is probably, on paper, the best game. And then you look at the side's form, and it's probably the best game again. It's Leicester plus 245, draw plus 260, and Man United at plus 120, Matt. Do Man United go there, and do they cement the Champions League football?
Man, this is a good one. This is one that I have to admit, I was looking back about a week ago, and I was thinking to myself that I'm going to bank Manchester United to get this job done. But they just haven't really convinced me yet. And this one is just tricky. I mean, Leicester are going to give it everything here. 3 points, secures Champions League. This is the first time they've been out of the top 4 in months and months. Man, oh man, I've actually sided with the over 2.5 goals here. I think that we're going to see goals in this one. Leicester, they need to do a better job of not getting caught out on the break. They were exposed on the counterattack by Tottenham. United can counterattack the living heck out of them. I'm a little bit worried about the Foxes here with their injury issues. I think that Manchester United draw no bet looks pretty darn good. It's around minus 150, but I've gone for the over 2.5 here. I don't see United losing, but I see goals in this one. I think that Vardy and Co can scrape one. I found that at minus 115.
Alex Classic for me, Martin.
Yeah, I can't go with Leicester. They've been lucky in recent weeks, I think, to even get the results they have. For me, they don't really deserve a Champions League place the way they've played since the restart. They came flying out of the blocks at the start of the season. They were fantastic. But since then, it's all gone downhill. I do feel a bit sorry for them because they've got injury problems. They really miss Chilwell and Pereira as the fullbacks. They miss Maddison. They haven't got that creative spark without him. Tielemans plays a little bit deeper. So Man United are unbeaten since the restart. I know they've had a couple of dodgy results recently, especially in the FA Cup. But I think they'll redouble their efforts for this one. It's going to be massive for the club to secure Champions League football, especially for their summer recruitment plans. So I can see them getting something out of this, especially with the way their forwards have been playing. And Leicester have been opting for a back three recently, which doesn't really match up well, I don't think, against their pace. So, yeah, I'm looking at just a straight win for Man United at 2.2, or Man United draw no bet looks very attractive at 1.65 to me.
Okay, well, Sammy in the chat saying Man United to score both halves at plus 230. That's just score both halves, not win. I mean, Man United to win and over 1.5 is good. That comes from Cachetri. I'll get me false teeth sorted out in the break. Yeah, Man United, I mean, I think there's going to be goals. I think the Alex Classic's in play. Man United over 1.5. I mean, there's plenty value whatever way you want to fall. Now, no value in this game. Man City, minus 1,000. Draw, plus 1,200. And Norwich, plus 4,500. How many times, Martin, does it work out that the team that's relegated, they go to Man City on the final day of the season?
It's a funny old script, isn't it? I can't believe they're 45 to 1 to win a single Premier League game. But that does just show how abysmal Norwich have been since the restart. They've lost all their games. They're going down with a whimper. I think it's going to dent their confidence as well for their chances of next season. Maybe a couple of their young fullbacks might pick up a move to a Premier League club, maybe Tom Cantwell. But otherwise, yeah, they're looking bad. They haven't been very good in front of goal in recent weeks at all. Whereas Man City have shown a tendency to actually keep some clean sheets, which looks reasonably interesting. So, yeah, the only way I could really find value was to go for Man City to win to 0, which is about 1.73. I did it a couple of weeks ago and it came in. Norwich just looking dreadful in front of goal. Timu Pukki, it's all dried up for him. They've got no creativity. Don't think they've got much motivation for this game. So, yeah, Man City to win to 0 for me.
Okay, EAB says the biggest stay away game. Rohill, he's on fire. He's going Man City minus 10. Matt, is minus 10 on your sheet?
Maybe minus 4.5 or so wouldn't be terrible. I mean, okay. Norwich are just, this is really disheartening that they have to go to City on the last day, like you touched on. I mean, it's brutal. I think that Martin has probably the best angle here. I don't see how Norwich score. And, you know, that's a decent price. That's a decent price, but there's no value for me. At least Sterling, he has 20 goals. He's still in the Golden Boot conversation, so he'll be motivated. And I mean, this one should be 3-4, 5-0.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I think 5 is probably the number if it's like minus 3.5, minus 4. Pie Guy said it's 45 to 1 Norwich, and you still can't justify making a case for them. And it's amazing. But the more and more I'm going down these games, I'm actually seeing goals. So it might be that could do a little parlay of over 1.5. Maybe even you could do a little parlay of 3 or 4 games of the over 2.5. Because remember, if they've got nothing to play for, they can just throw caution to the wind and go out and have some fun and just keep attacking. Now, Newcastle, this is a great value bet, I believe. Newcastle plus 900, draw plus 450, Liverpool minus 275. Matt, I think that Newcastle in the draw and at the Alex Classic, I think they all have they warrant a mention at the very least.
I'm right there with you. I mean, I think that, Liverpool are going to be potentially hung over once more. I mean, I don't know how many times they've celebrated the title in the last month, but they've been definitely drinking. And, With this one here for me, I think that Newcastle on the Asian handicap looks pretty good. I see this one being tight. I think that Newcastle do score. Liverpool really haven't been keeping many clean sheets since the restart. I think that this one is like 2-1 Liverpool, 2-2, something like that. I think there's goals in it as well.
Martin, what sort of lead would you give Newcastle here? Plus 1.5?
Yeah, I think plus 1.5 seems about fair. It's getting a bit embarrassing for Liverpool's defending at the moment. I think it's getting to the point now where they want to at least put out a show of force ahead of next season. They're not going to be playing in Europe. They've not got a cup final. They've won the league at a canter, which is great. But I think you want to strike a bit of fear into the hearts of the other teams in the league about what you're going to do next time around. And they're starting to look shaky. When Van Dijk and Joe Gomez clattered into each other last night and just allowed Pulisic in to go and score, that was it's not the Liverpool that we've seen all season. I feel like, the time for drinking is over, and they shouldn't have a hangover for this game. They've lost too many games in recent weeks like that. I think he's going to have a right go at them and say, look, let's have a good performance to finish the season. You got all summer to celebrate after this. Let's at least end it on a high, a composed, disciplined defensive performance. I think they get the job done against Newcastle. So I'm going to go for same bet. Liverpool under 4.5 goals, 1.78.
Okay, 1.78. I just think that there's massive value there in Newcastle. I can see Newcastle going one up, and you can just cash out. So plus 900, that's crazy. Now Southampton plus 130, draw plus 250, and Sheffield United at plus 225. Martin?
Yeah, very difficult game. Very difficult game. Southampton been excellent since the restart, and despite not really having any motivation to pick up any points, they've just been playing with freedom. I've liked everything I've seen from them. They've been very efficient in front of goal, dangerous on the break. Can't see them losing it really, but I'm not sure I see the value. Maybe a draw, no bet. Maybe a draw. Sheffield United, you never quite know what you're going to get from them at the moment. They were dreadful after the restart. Suddenly they remembered how to play. They started picking up points again. Then they've lost. They've lost to Everton. They've lost to Leicester. I can't have them. Pass for me.
Yeah, maybe both teams to score. No, Matt. But I was really tempted by the Southampton at plus 130 because they're hungry, they've got good movement, there's athleticism, there's players there that... Listen, Danny Ings is still going for the Golden Boot. We've mentioned before, we've made a case for the other players that are still going to be interested in the Golden Boot. And the boys are going to want to get the ball to Danny Ings. Maybe Danny Ings to score at any time, Matt.
Yeah, copy and paste you, Flash. I mean, I think that you're on the right angle here in terms of just the motivation, at least for Ings and the squad. I've gone with Southampton to win this match, plus 130. Sheffield haven't done enough for me since the restart. Southampton score goals. And that's just, I mean, when you have Redmond on the wing, he's been brilliant the last month. Ward-Prowse just picking the passes, in every little detail. I love him as a midfielder personally. I think he could go to a bigger club. Southampton plus 130 here. It looks pretty good. Another plus price that I'm taking.
Yeah, Walker Peters has done great as well. Been on loan from Spurs. He's done really, really well. Settled in, gives it that youthful look and athleticism. So yeah, we like that. It is Southampton pass. It is Southampton or it's pass. So I don't think you go anywhere near Sheffield United. I mean, they can't get into Europe. They're going to just sort of great season they've had. Manager's done brilliantly. I think they go again next year. Might get found out next year. It's going to be a tough old time if they don't recruit properly. Now, West Ham plus 225, draw plus 275, and Aston Villa at plus 125. Martin, Villa need to win. Do they win and do they stay up?
I can see them potentially not winning, but still staying up. I think they'll stay up. I think that victory over Arsenal could well have guaranteed safety for them. They were very good, but Arsenal were very, very bad. They got a goal from a corner and then stuck 10 men behind the ball. Well done to them. They were quite fortunate to come up against such a knackered Arsenal team. But I mean, fair play to them. They've got themselves in that position. Destiny's in their own hands. I just don't really know what you're going to get from West Ham. They've done enough to get themselves out of trouble. They can play with the handbrake off now. just picked up a draw against Man United. I don't really want to oppose a team that just picked up a draw against Man United, really. So I have to stay away from the outrights on this one, I think. I can see both teams scoring. Always the bet with West Ham. They always score. They always concede. I think it's still going to be a reasonably tight and tense game, though. So both teams to score and under 4.5 goals for me at 2.05.
2.05, okay. Sammy's saying West Ham to score both halves. Villa double chance. Listen, it's an absolutely cracking game. I think this has got Alex Classic wrote all over it as well. You could do an Alex Classic parlay. Matt, do Villa stay up or do they win? Do they win this game?
I'm not sure if they win this game. I don't understand this price, really. I think that West Ham completely outplayed Manchester United. I think that they almost deserve to get all three in that one here. I think that Martin's right in terms of Villa. If they get a draw here, I believe that they stay up. And I've gone for the draw here. I think that this line kind of screams a draw. I don't really understand why Villa are the favorites here. I think that this should be more of a pick-em type of match because, like Martin said, West Ham are playing with just free-flowing. They have nothing to lose, and they've been good. Mikel Antonio has been on fire. And I worry for Villa here a little bit in a sense, but I think that Arsenal are going to help Villa secure safety, and I think that Everton will probably help Villa as well. So I think this match has draw written all over it, though.
I quite like West Ham here. I really do. Martin, I can see Arsenal winning, okay? But obviously we know how crazy the final day is. I can see Bournemouth winning. But I can't see Villa winning for some reason. I cannot see them winning. And I think that this is going to be a crazy 25 minutes. I mean, listen, we all go back to when QPR took the lead at Man City and then Aguero scored in the 94th minute. But I think we might see a twist and change in the last 10 minutes.
It would be fascinating, wouldn't it? Just looking at the table, Aston Villa are above Watford based on goal difference only, and it's only one goal in it. So we could get to the situation whereby they're both losing and they're both trying not to lose too heavily because whoever gets thrashed the hardest ends up going down. And especially if Bournemouth pick up a win, that throws another dimension into it because they'll draw level on points and they're level on goal difference with Watford already, and only one behind Aston Villa. So there's so many different permutations. It's going to be an absolutely fascinating final day. It's going to be one of those ones where the camera crews split between the three matches and there's all the commentary flying in, fans biting their nails to the quick. It's going to be one of those really gripping, thrilling final days, I think. Possibly not quite up there with the Aguero goal against QPR, but maybe like that day when West Brom stayed up and they all invaded the pitch and poured champagne over Brian Robson or something like that. It's going to be a cracking day, and I can't wait to see what happens.
It's going to be bonkers, Martin. Listen, there's 92 of you watching. There's only 36 thumbs up. Please give your thumbs up, but remember to subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. You ring the bell, we will notify you on all of our content. Now, just because the Premier League's ending, we've still got Serie A next week, and then the week after, it's Champions League and it's the Europa League. So we'll be going right the way through August. You will not miss a thing. And then before you know it, the Premier League will be back, then Bundesliga, Serie A, and La Liga. So there's not long for us to be taking a deep breath. So, Martin, give me a little rundown of yours. And if there is a banker, well done for finding it.
Sure. Yeah, I might go for it. Arsenal to beat Watford. Pile of pressure on them. Even money, 2.0. Burnley draw no bet against Brighton, 1.67. Both teams to score in the Chelsea v Wolves game at 1.8. Tottenham in the under 4.5 goals against Crystal Palace at 1.91. Man United draw no bet against Leicester, 1.65. Banker for me. Man City to beat Norwich to 0, 1.72. Liverpool and under 4.5 goals against Newcastle, 1.78. And both teams to score an under 4.5 goals in the West Ham versus Aston Villa game.
Yeah, Matt, I see plenty goals and I see plenty Alex Classics, and maybe leave the winning market out.
Yes. Yeah, I've actually gone for the winning market here, and I've just got a lot of plus prices. So as long as I kind of go 50% here, I should be able to escape away some nice profit. So I've gone with Arsenal plus 100, Burnley plus 130, Everton plus 120. Tottenham in the under 4.5 goals, minus 120. Southampton plus 120. And I've gone for the over 2.5 goals and Leicester, Man U. I might play Man U at a pick'em. I think that's a really nice play. I don't see them losing that match. And West Ham Villa draw plus 275. So again, it's a lot of plus prices, but it's been fantastic to join you guys on this show. It's been so fun, and
Have you got a
man, this
banker
is gonna
for
be a
me? What, you're
great
going to try
final
and
week.
slip away without giving me a banker?
I think that you touched on it, Flash. I don't really see a banker. If I really had to play one, I don't see United losing. I really don't. I had them circled a week ago to beat Leicester, and I just don't see them losing that match. But really, for me, in terms of a stake perspective, there is no banker this week.
Okay, gives me time to say, nice one, Matt. Yeah, we've enjoyed having you. We'll see you again soon, I'm sure. Martin, there's no days off for you, my lad. You get your head in that Europa. And by the way, congratulations on the baby that's just about to join us. But make sure the baby doesn't get in the way of the Europa homework, because we got winners to be fined all the way through August. Thank you to everyone in the chat. From obscure as Harry Doherty to Barca Man to Pie Guy to Sammy to EAB and everyone else in the chat. Please give you a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. We are nothing without you. So listen, we're back on tomorrow with Serie A at quarter past 10 Eastern time. Serie A starting to come to a close. Wonky old results this week. They might just get a little bit more wonky as we go down the stretch. Thanks to Matt, thanks to Martin, and we'll see you all again soon. You take care.
Thanks, guys.